The Coalition for Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria is aware of a grand plot by some unscrupulous elements within the political ranks in Nigeria to cause disaffection in the polity by orchestrating for the sack of service chiefs in the country. This is indeed a part of an unpatriotic attempt at puncturing the fragile peace experience in Nigeria and truncating our nascent democratic experiment by those who have fallen out of political relevance that was occasioned by the outcome of the 2019 general elections in Nigeria. The Coalition of Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria, being a critical stakeholder in the war against terrorism in Nigeria, sees this attempt as an assault on the sensibilities of Nigerians, especially the people of the northeast Nigeria that have had to endure years of hardship since the Boko Haram terrorist group began its violent campaign against the Nigerian state in 2009. It is instructive to state that the recent upsurge in the call for the sacking of service chiefs, Army, Navy, and Air Force is indeed the handiwork of some Northeast politicians that have vowed to discredit the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari for putting the interests of the people at heart and his commitment to fight against terrorism in Nigeria. These Northeast politicians that have been the ultimate beneficiaries of the crisis in the region are angered with the progress made so far in the war against terrorism because their illicit sources of livelihood have been halted by the counter-insurgency operations of the Nigerian military. We have it on competent authority that some Northeast politicians are not only sponsoring the call for the sack of the service chiefs, they also have set up a mechanism that would jeopardize the effort of the President Muhammadu Buhari-led administration. Worthy to mention is the case of a high-ranking politician of Northeast extraction that was rejected at the polls, as well as his appeal thrown out by the courts, has been distributing monies to members of the National Assembly to cause a distraction by initiating moves to impeach President Muhammadu Buhari. The Coalition for Human Rights Monitoring Group in Nigeria is aware of the fact that over 2 billion naira has been so far distributed to members of the National Assembly to initiate impeachment proceedings against President Muhammadu Buhari. This is indeed not coming as a surprise to the Coalition for Human Rights Monitoring Groups in Nigeria because in the course of our assessment of the situation in the Northeast Nigeria over the years, we have been inundated with multiple evidence on the activities of selfish politicians that are acting as fronts for the highly placed politician that has vowed to make the country ungovernable. This much we have stated in our numerous assessment reports to the relevant authorities as well as members of the general public on the need to step up the action, to be taken to avert a gradual disintegration of the country by the actions of these despicable and wicked politicians that have placed their interests above national interests. Nigerians must realize that the call for the sack of the services is not really the main issue, but that of a grand plot to see that the administration of Muhammadu Buhari is labeled as incompetent and lacking in the capacity to address the spate of insecurity in the country. Nigerians must, as a matter of urgency, wake up to this harsh reality imposed on us by these groups of people that have refused to give peace a chance because of their blind ambition to take over the affairs of the country at all costs so they can resume their despicable act of impoverishing the people which has been their stock in trade before the advent of this administration of Muhammadu Buhari in 2015. The Coalition for Human Rights Monitoring Group in Nigeria, as a result of this, wishes to call on the DSS as a matter of urgent national concern to commence a full-scale investigation into this nefarious plot targeted at destabilizing the nation. This is especially expedient because the crisis in the Northeast is not a failure of governance, but a deliberate plot by some politicians that are angry and bitter with the people for rejecting them at the polls.